Hey guys, let's talk about Bimbo and IVD. IVD is known as Ogbonna. He's a businessman in Lagos, even though he's popularly known as IVD. He's into automobiles. IVD and Bimbo had been married for about 21 years, and their marriage is blessed with kids. Except that that union has been saddled with so much domestic violence. It all came to light in May 2019, when May 28, 2019, when Bimbo, IVD's wife, woke up from coma. So IVD was said to have beaten Bimbo at the time to the extent that she went into coma. And need I mention that Bimbo was 8 months pregnant at the time when IVD beat her into coma. When she got, regained consciousness, she wrote some things about what she had been going through in her marriage. And surprisingly, in October 4th, 2020, IVD publicly celebrated a reunion of himself and his wife Bimbo. They had made up. And you know what they say about abusive and toxic relationships? Sometimes they just never stop, unfortunately. So this couple got back together and began living together as a couple. I wouldn't understand what happened behind the scene after Bimbo left her husband's house. I want to believe there were people, friends, or maybe family members who spoke to her, encouraged her to go back and live with her husband. There will always be this kind of people who will tell you, oh, you can't leave your home for another woman, go back and build your home, you need to pray harder, you need to do this and do that, or you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. If only Bimbo knew. But I'm sure somewhere along the multitude of counsel, she decided to give it another trial. Now that was a costly mistake. So after Bimbo got back with her husband in 2020, it seemed like not much really changed. A few days ago, precisely Tuesday, 12th of October 2022, a video surfaced on the internet where Bimbo was being brought out from the pool in their house while the house was on fire, and she was already badly burnt and she was rushed to the hospital. In that video, it was, we could see where they were saying they were going to refer them to another hospital, and the person making the video was already worried and concerned. At some point, the update was that Bimbo wasn't talking. She couldn't talk again. And Bimbo went into intensive care unit after she was rejected by 10 hospitals. Her condition was really critical. So what actually happened? What led to that? We understand from further revelations that came to bear on the internet that Bimbo had confronted her husband about the numerous abuses that he had put her through, and a fight ensued. When that fight began, IVD began to punch his wife, Bimbo, and she was screaming for help. And suddenly, Bimbo set the house ablaze. The house, the cars. And what happened next is yet clear. But it turned out only Bimbo got caught up in that fire, because she was the only one that got burnt, and badly burnt for that matter. After she was, rejected by 10 hospitals, like I said, eventually she was admitted into intensive care unit where she had been since 12th of October 2022 till today, the 15th of October 2022, when the most sad news broke. Unfortunately, Bimbo did not make it out of the intensive care unit alive. She gave up the ghost in the hospital. It's really sad that that young lady had to die that way. In Bimbo's story before she died, in other accounts, she narrated how she had met her husband. She met her husband while she was still a teenager, and she had gotten pregnant. She recounted how she had gotten pregnant before, and her mother took her for an abortion at 8 months because she didn't want her to marry her husband, IVD. She wanted her to at least further her education. But she said a month after the abortion, she got pregnant again. And it was that second pregnancy that led her to get married to IVD, her husband. And according to her story, IVD didn't quite have much. So her father sponsored the whole wedding, and her family, her father, her brothers, and her mother had literally held their union financially. She also recounted how her mother had given them her car at the time just to cover up their shame because they didn't have a car at the time. So she gave them her car to be using, and she said her mother had been their hero because she had rendered them so much of assistance. So she expected so much from her husband. It is also on record that Bimbo did not proceed to get a degree because she began bearing children, and she thought that maybe when her husband gets to the top, he would pull her hands up. But she said it turned out to be a big mistake because she was so wrong. So she said she paused her life for her husband, and that was a huge regret for her. A video also surfaced on the internet today, 15th of October 2022, after Bimbo was declared dead, and it was posted by her husband IVD. In that video, it was seen where he was showing videos of when Bimbo set the house on fire, the destruction she had done. That was even before Bimbo got burnt, and all of those. He also revealed where Bimbo had injured him on the head and blood was flowing and all of those. From what I understand, that marriage was, filled with so much toxicity from both partners. What baffles me really is that why did they really have to be together even after discovering that they were incompatible? Because I'm forced to say they were incompatible because the toxicity was so much. From the little videos we saw on the internet, it seemed like love had waned, but they were both in denial. It was difficult for them to agree that the love they once shared was no longer there, and that feeling and all of those that they once shared was no longer there. But it was difficult for them to accept that truth. So that old cliche that because you've been married, you have to stay married, especially because you have kids, that old cliche actually led to this ugly turnout of event. I sincerely wish Bimbo had stayed back when she left her husband's house. If she had stayed back wherever she was, I don't think this ugly incident would have occurred. And there's so much warmth, a kind of warmth is being opened in all angles, all directions. Bimbo's family, Bimbo's friends, people are saying a whole lot of things about IVD, her husband. And even Bimbo's brother had come out on the internet to say to accuse IVD of being the one who had shot a guy in the club when Burna Boy was said to have attempted to woo a man's wife while clubbing. Now Bimbo's husband is saying IVD was the one who shot at the man in the club. And I'm wondering, like, really? You had this information that could have led to an arrest, yet you concealed it because IVD is your brother-in-law. And now, because your sister is dead, you are dishing out all the information. You were just as guilty as IVD if IVD is guilty. Because I don't understand this thing that people do, and they shield alleged criminals, when they do stuff because of their own selfish interest, and then when it's no longer favorable on their part, they begin to dish out all those information. I mean, it doesn't make sense. The one question I'm asking at this point is, if his sister was alive today and in good times with IVD, her husband, would he have still released that piece of information to the public? And again, what stopped him from releasing that information when it was needed the most? So you can see that the evil you preserve today, you protect today, will turn around and hurt you tomorrow. It's that simple. It is sad that Bimbo died this way. It is really, really sad. And I can't overemphasize the need for women who are going through abuse in marriages, in relationship, to take a walk. Really, it begins with your determination. It's not enough for you to just sit back and say you have nothing to fall back to. The determination first should come first. If you have that determination to go out of that abusive circle, then it will be a turnaround for you. You will be amazed at the steps you will take, to improve your life. It's because you have remained there. You have idolized your abuser as the only source that can make you comfortable. That is why you're finding it so difficult to move out. It is so sad. So many women will watch this video and they will still live in that abusive relationship and marriage until it's too late. Sadly, it's one too many, and women need to wake up and know when to leave. Same with men. They need to wake up and know when it's time to leave. No partner is worth another's blood or head. It's sad that Bimbo died this way, and this is us sending our condolences to her family, her friends, and loved ones. And we hope that the police will do their investigation where necessary and ensure that justice is served. But like I said, I saw toxicity in both parties, and it is sad that they could not come to the realization that it wasn't working. If only they stepped out of their denial. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do well to subscribe, and don't fail to turn on your notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we upload our next story. If you enjoy watching this video, please like it, leave your comments in the comment section concerning your thoughts concerning the story, and don't fail to share this video. In the meantime, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of your emotions, be kind to yourself, be kind to the people around you, and always be safe. I remain Darkest Ideolokun, and I love you.